Hello and welcome back to my channel. We're finally checking out a Kep1er guide today. I picked the one from Xiaoting's that everyone recommended. This is like 37 minutes long or so, but let's give a brief overview really quickly of just my connection with Kep1er. I never watched Girls Planet. The whole thing of the temporary group kind of dissuades me a little bit just because you're basically setting yourself up for heartbreak. But then I could not be denied after watching Queendom. They were so incredibly likable. Like, their youthful energy is just completely intoxicating. They're so much fun. They started off a little rough. I didn't love the first half of their performances really, but then towards the end, after they did The Boys and then their new song The Girls, those two performances are some of my favorite from the show. Wadada, I think, is a really fun song. I like it. I don't love it exactly. I think Mask is way better, and I actually think The Girls is a lot better than Wadada. Personally, I like that direction that they're kind of taking with that song, giving power but not like overtly girl crush energy. They have a little bit of the youthful cute because they're a much younger group, but also still a lot of confidence in their performances. Now, the members that really stood out to me in Queendom, especially Dayeon, man, her dancing, her facial expressions, unbelievable. Hikaru, also an unbelievable dancer, tons of fun off stage. She's so funny. She's very tiny. I haven't really seen her full rapping capabilities quite yet. More of her I see as like a great dancer than a rapper so far, but hopefully in the future we'll get to see more of that style. So I think from the jump was just like, you can't not notice her. Like, she's so visually striking. Her eyes are so expressive. Didn't speak a ton on the show, and I understand that her grasp of Korean like isn't great, which is totally understandable. So that was probably some of that reason. But all the clips I see from either like variety shows they're on or little fun videos, V Lives, things like that, she is hilarious, so goofy. Because she's so impactful in Wadada, I was expecting to see this really strong personality, but she's very soft and a total goofball, like complete opposite of that stage presence, and that duality is always a ton of fun. Mashiro is adorable. We didn't get to see a ton of her once we got into the subunit breakdowns, just because I think on Queendom, if you're not in those episodes, you really don't get a ton of screen time on the show overall. That just seems to be the case. And then I'd say that Youngeun just killed it towards the end. Her performance on both The Boys and The Girls, so good. Yujin I already knew pretty well because I was a very big CLC fan, and while I wasn't watching Girls Planet, I was always keeping tabs on if she was going to win because I was rooting for her kind of on the sidelines as I didn't watch the show, and she did. I think she fits in really well with this group because she has that youthful energy. Even though she's older, she almost fits in like weirdly better in the energy of this group because there's like a bunch of Yujins in here than she did in CLC in some respects. And then the other members, Yeso and Hugh, I call her Hugh because I don't want to mispronounce her name, and I know that I will, that has the sibling in TXT. I don't know terribly much about them. I don't think I forgot anybody, but that's just off the top of my head. And then we'll see how this guide goes. So there's my lowdown on what I know of these members so far. Let's do this thing. Let's check it out. Kep1er, the ultimate debut guide.
If you're watching this video, there's a very high
prepping
chance
for that
you know
comeback
absolutely
on Monday.
nothing about Kep1er at all, or are very likely already a Kep1er yourself. Regardless of wherever you fall on that spectrum, welcome to today's video.
Oh my god, Chaeyoung, I don't know how I forgot. Of course. I don't really know much about her personality, but damn, her vocals, unbelievable.
My channel's name is Xiaoting, but you can call me Locke, and today we are going to be deep diving into K-pop's brand new super rookies, Kep1er.
Volume is low on this one. Let me up it a bit.
As with any other guide, first off, we'll start with the basics. Who are Kep1er, where'd they come from, and what have they done thus far?
Okay, I think I got everyone at this point,
Korean,
right?
Japanese, and Chinese girl group signed under Wake1 Entertainment, a subsidiary of CJ They are managed by Swing Entertainment, one of the labels that has previously managed groups such as IZ*ONE, IOI, 101, and X1, and their contract is for 2.5 years. Kep1er are a dual leader group, meaning they have a main leader and a co-leader, and were formed through the show Girls.
I'm sorry,
Kep1er
I'm
are a
speaking
dual
over you.
leader group, meaning they have a main leader and a co-leader, and were formed through the show
Who's the
Girls
co-leader?
Planet 999, an Mnet survival show aired between August and October 2021. The show featured 99 contestants from Japan, China, and Korea, who were voted by viewers from all over the world into the final lineup. The show officially concluded on October 22nd of 2021.
I want to go back and check out some of the
lineup became the
performances
9
from
members
that
of
show.
Kep1er. The name Kep1er, pronounced in Korean as Kep1er, which was also announced during the finale, has a dual-pronged meaning. It is an amalgamation of the Northern English word kep, which means to catch, representing the members catching their dreams, and the number 1, representing that 9 girls will become
That's
one
why their
to
intro
become
is
the
like
best.
that. They're
The
greeting.
name is also a nod to the name of the German astronomer Johannes Kepler, the one responsible for the way that humans currently conceptualize how planets move. As for the fandom name, fans of Kep1er are called Keplian. Officially, this
Like
just means
Alien?
those who support Kep1er and would stay next to the girls. However, an additional way to think about it would be as an amalgamation of Kep1er and Guardian. Now, as far as Kep1er's activities are concerned, on the 3rd of January 2022, Kep1er debuted with their first mini-album titled First Impact and its title track, Wadada.
Was Mask the only other B-side on this? I think it was, right? Oh no, that's not true. They had that shining, I forget what it's called. They had that one as well. I don't know if I've heard that.
First Impact is a 6-track mini-album consisting of the title Wadada,
much more.
2 B-sides, and 3 Girls Planet 999 songs,
Oh, okay,
including
no,
the
I'm
show's
right.
signal song Over and Over and Over. The 3rd of January officially commemorates the start of Kep1er's full activities as an active group. In the pre-debut phase alone, Kep1er have already begun smashing
Oh my
records,
God,
and
the
have shown
reindeer
promise for
Sen
what's to come.
outfit is
As of the
great.
making of this guide, Kep1er have already become the most followed pre-debut rookie girl group in 2021, and are currently the most followed rookie girl group in 2022. By the
These groups really just do that when they come out of these competition shows. They're huge in that way. That I've heard discussions. I don't know if there's going to be anything that will actually happen, but that this 2-year thing like can't continue. That from what I'm hearing from a lot of people is they expect that in the future when these groups are formed, if you're not pulling people from already existing groups, however, we knew that CLC was over anyway by the time that Yujin had joined this. That 2-year thing, that Kep1er might be the last group to do that, and then in the future you'll have longer contracts. I hope that is the case because it makes it difficult to get into these groups. At least to me, it's like signing up for, I don't know, a pet that's about to pass or
4th of
something.
January
Like
2022,
it's hard.
Kep1er had amassed over 650,000 followers on Twitter, 1.4 million followers on Instagram, and over 1.1 million
I also expected
subscribers
that
on
this would
YouTube.
correlate to
Massive
way
figures
more
for a
user voting
pre-debut
on
girl group.
Queendom, and it really
As for their debut
didn't.
numbers, Kep1er's First Impact broke the record for the #1 selling debut album from a K-pop girl group in the first 24 hours with 150,000 sales of their album. As of the 9th
Girl
of
group
January
numbers are also
2022, Kep1er broke
crazy
yet
on the
another
rise, and I
record
love it.
and charted as the 2nd highest selling girl group debut of all time within the first week of sales, with over 200,000 copies of their album sold. In addition to this, the MV for their title track Wadada,
And no disrespect to them whatsoever, but I can see that getting broken within a year. Just at the rate that girl group like numbers are going nuts. Like look at like what IVE is doing and just crazy numbers that I could see
also sits
someone
as the
breaking
8th
that
most
soon.
viewed MV for any debut K-pop act in the first 24 hours with over 9 million views. Now, of course, due to the timing of this guide, I cannot account for the numerous successes that Kep1er will inevitably achieve in the coming months, but look out for an updated guide from me at their first comeback for some new stats and even
I'm excited
more
for this
information.
next
So with
comeback.
that being said,
Nice
it's time
summary
that we
track
dive a little
maybe
deeper into Kep1er
with
and
a
of
Kep1er
course,
edge.
its members. Before we do start getting to know the members though, I really just quickly want to throw in a disclaimer here that currently Kep1er do not have any official assigned positions. Thus far, in all lives, meetings and public appearances, Kep1er have not explicitly stated any positions.
I think that
other than
happens
leader
often
and co-leader, and so everything currently
with
is
groups
left up
that
to
are
assumption
really
as
large.
of the making of this guide. So with that being said, let's get straight into the members. Chaeyoung is the oldest member of Kep1er, or the Madonni, and
Definitely
she
the
already
one I
has
know the most
experience
by
as
far.
a debuted idol. Within Kep1er, despite being the eldest and the leader, Yujin is often labelled as the fake maknae because of her cute charms and the way that she is a total goofball.
벌써 겨울이에요, 여러분. 우리가 조금 더 친해지기 위해
That's why she fits in so well. She always had this super like bright cutesy energy in CLC, and like CLC low-key wanted to be like a harder girl crush group. It was so interesting. I mean, Cube never listened.
아저씨 가방 샀어요?
Oh my god, she fits in so well, it's crazy.
마지막으로 인사드리기 전에 팬 여러분들께 전할
She loves to have fun and loves to laugh, and she is easily one of the loudest members of Kep1er. She is considered an aegyo master, and her bunny-like charms earned her the title Yujin Tokki or Bunny Yujin. In this vein, Yujin's representative animal within Kep1er is also a bunny. In 2015, Yujin first debuted in Cube's girl group CLC, but following members leaving the group
me is so
company
good. I'm
issues
sorry.
and
God, CLC is so what could have been, man. They're so
Cube's girl
good.
Group CLC, but following members leaving the group due to company issues and CLC having no activities for the better part of a year, she joined Girls Planet 999 in hopes that she could re-debut.
Goddamn, what a shame.
Yujin first entered Cube in 2011, which means that until now she had had a whopping 10 years of experience in the K-pop industry already. This experience of hers, along with her considerate nature and her friendly personality, makes her not only an incredible support for her younger members as a leader, but also makes her one of the mother figures of the group.
Yeah, and I see that for sure. I see the kind of motherly figure. You got that on Queendom. The one thing is that she doesn't have that experience as a leader coming in from CLC. She was in kind of a different lane and position there. So definitely you see, that's why I think it's interesting and probably good that there's some kind of co-leader, because while you'll maybe get, like, I see at least personally a motherly figure there, that kind of hard-nosed portion of a leadership role, I don't know if I've seen that from her or if she does it, but like look at her compared to like Exy on Queendom for Udusonyeon, like different vibe as like a leader, and maybe she will kind of bloom into that role, but I'm not too sure. Just based off her personality, it's kind of hard when you're very friendly and you're very soft. It's hard to be a manager, a leader, in that kind of way. Motherly figure for sure. I do see that.
Currently, she is learning Mandarin, and she also knows how to speak Japanese and English.
Hi, my name is Lily. How are you?
Oh my god.
English.
영어? 아 영어 잘한다고?
I love you, Yujin. You look beautiful. Oh, thank you. You are.
By the way, I didn't even mention, very well done guide. Already, I love guides like this. Love someone who's going to stand up and speak on their own. We got no robot voices. We got no just big walls of text. Fantastic. This is what we like to see.
English is so cute. Yeah, thank you. I'm so sorry. Toilet because very okay?
Look at her go.
今度のアルバムたくさん応援してください。
On top of all this,
Oh my god,
Yujin
you
is
see
not
Baby
only a
Sorn?
seasoned and experienced idol, but she is also.
What the hell
On
was
top
this?
of all this, Yujin is not only a seasoned
Oh
and
my
experienced idol, but she
What
is
the hell
also
was
an
that?
actress as well. So far, Yujin has acted in over 4 dramas, with her most recent being the web drama titled Pumpkin Time.
Hey, that's that dude hosts.
아니야 그런 거.
나보다 먼저 좋아했다며? 네가 어떻게 이럴 수가 있어? 태주한테도 나한테도 잘못한 거야.
I've seen small clips of this.
무슨 말이라도 해보라니까? 무슨 변명이라도 해보라고!
She's
Yeah.
done variety and reality
I've seen
shows
small
before
clips
too,
where she's kind of
so
like
she'll
a
be
bully.
great guide in helping the members learn the ropes with variety. The funny thing about Yujin though is that despite all of her experience and even her age, there is in fact a member who has been in the Korean entertainment industry longer than her. Throughout Girls Planet 999, Yujin was able to show multiple different sides of herself and become the confident and capable leader that she is today. She is a talented vocalist and
Gotta
dancer,
see those
she can rap,
performances.
and she's also a
Someone
visual,
has sent
and
me
thus
a
she
list.
can certainly be
I'll have to
considered
get to
as
him
an
eventually.
all-rounder in this regard.
Oh, yes. Oh my god, What is this? Jesus! Sungin is living for this. Yujin is living for this. The fuck?
In Girls Planet 999,
I
Yujin
must have
was
missed
announced
something.
as the 6th member of Kep1er, finishing in 3rd place overall. Following
Yes.
Yujin, you have the
Yes.
second
Yes.
eldest, the tallest, and the only Chinese member in the group, Xiaoting. Xiaoting is from Chengdu, Sichuan province in China, and she is currently signed to Top Class Entertainment. She is one of the faces of Kep1er, and she is renowned for her stunning visuals.
another strange thing of just these artists, they're all under like a different like ownership group. Yeah, it's almost like they're being lent out to Kep1er, but like they just said top class here. So is it like
class entertainment? She is one
each
of the
particular
faces of
person is
Kep1er,
under
and she is
different
renowned
management?
for her stunning visuals. Xiaoting is goofy, funny, and is also one of Kep1er's loudest members, having earned the title Shen Xiaoting on Girls Planet 999 and carrying this through to her time in Kep1er as well.
Oh my god, she's great. Oh, I gotta watch more of this kind of stuff. I mean, her eyes are absolutely the most striking point.
She is close with all of her fellow members, and they learn Chinese to communicate better with her while she studies to get better at Korean. Her Korean name is Shim Sojong, the main nickname she likes to go by is Ting, and her representative animal is a deer. Within Kep1er, Xiaoting is not only considered a visual killer, but she's also
What
a
a
dance
banger
expert
start.
and has been recognized for this multiple times. Prior to her debut in Kep1er, Xiaoting made a name for herself internationally as an extremely talented ballroom dancer. Since her teen years, she has competed in and placed in over 50 domestic and international ballroom competitions. Out of all of her competitions, some of her most notable accolades are winning first place domestically in a Shanghai Ballroom Tournament Championship at age 15, and also placing 6th globally at one of the biggest ballroom dance contests in the world.
That shit
the
looks
Blackpool
hard.
Dance Festival in the UK.
Oh, woo! All around the world. That's right. Oh, I forgot Sunmi was a judge on
In
that
addition
show.
to this, Xiaoting is also a college graduate who holds a degree majoring in performance from the Sichuan Conservatory of Music University, something which just shows how committed she is to performing. Prior to her debut in Kep1er, Xiaoting competed in Produce Camp China 2020, or Chuang as it's commonly known as, where she ranked 80th overall after getting eliminated in episode 4. Going into Girls Planet 999, she was ranked number 1 out of all the Chinese contestants in the show at episode 1, making her one of the 3 centers for the show's signal song, 000. In addition to being an incredible dancer, Xiaoting also has proven that she is a more than capable vocalist, and also has showed that she is additionally capable of rapping as well.
Oh wow, I haven't heard that from her. All around her. What?
By the end of the show, Xiaoting had finished 9th in the show overall.
How can people have so much
making her
talent?
the final member of Kep1er to be announced.
Ah,
Sakamoto Mashiro is one of the 2 Japanese members. and she
Mashiro,
is also the
very
co-leader of
fake,
Kep1er along
fake
with
magne.
Yujin. Mashiro is the same age as Xiaoting, making her a member of the Gugus, the 99 liners, and she completes what is known as the Onni line, or the oldest line, along with Yujin and Xiaoting. Since Girls Planet, in both Kep1er's
That's so
reality
wild.
and
I
V-Lives,
assumed she was
it's
the
become a
youngest off the
well-known fact
bat.
that Mashiro is one of Kep1er's happy pills, and she is easily recognized by her dimples when she laughs or smiles. Like Yujin, she's a mother-like figure who supports all of her members, and she's extremely articulate with her emotions. Mashiro is an extremely funny member, and is definitely one of Kep1er's main mood boosters.
They've got a lot of stuff already. Like all this footage that's from. Do they have their own show? There's already a lot of content, and I mean, when they went on to Queendom, it was what, like 3 months after, 3.5 months after debut.
왜냐면 나는 언니 막 춤출 때가 너무 언니 진짜 깜짝 놀랐어요. 5, 6, 7, 8
Oh my god, her face! Suddenly very serious.
ケプラーのファンの皆さん、こんにちは。ケプラーマシロです。いつも私たちを見守って応援して素敵な言葉をかけてくださってありがとうございます。まだ私たちケプラーはスタートラインに立ったばかりです。これからお見せしたい姿がまだまだたくさん多いので、
Of course, they
私た
show a
ちとず
shot
っと
of
一緒
her.
にいてくださると嬉しいです。ありがとうございます。愛してます。マシロ。
Within Kep1er,
Everyone
Mashiro's
else like,
representative
okay,
animal
sure.
is a raccoon. As for her story, Mashiro's pre-debut journey is quite interesting,
Raccoon
as prior
kind
to
of
her
makes sense.
debut in Kep1er, she was a former JYP and Pledis trainee.
Yeah, I did hear the JYP thing, not Pledis. Pledis or Pledis? I always heard Pledis. I guess Pledis would make. I don't know. But I've never heard anyone's animal be a raccoon. That makes sense.
As prior to her debut in Kep1er, she was a former JYP and Pledis trainee, training at JYP between 2016 and 2018, and Pledis between 2019 and 2020. Although all information regarding Mashiro as a Pledis trainee is yet to be confirmed and is just solely based on rumor. As it happens, as a result of her years in JYP, Mashiro is actually close friends with all members of ITZY, and she trained closely together with them prior to their debut in 2019.
2016년부터 2018년 2년 동안 하고 이제 안 되는 건가? 저는 이제 포기할 생각이었거든요.
Like part of the larger trainee group trying to form ITZY, or was it like she was on the precipice of debut with ITZY? It was just like her and ITZY.
After leaving JYP, Mashiro tried going back home to Japan in order to be able to pursue other career interests. These didn't work out for her though, as her yearning to debut as a K-pop idol was so strong, and at some stage before Girls Planet 999, Mashiro signed to 143 Entertainment, the same agency as another member of Kep1er. As she had previously trained at JYP, Mashiro speaks Korean fluently, so much so to the point where she apparently can no longer speak Japanese, although this is a joke amongst her members.
I love when that happens.
And she is currently presumably learning how to speak Mandarin.
I feel like that happens with Bangchan of Stray Kids a lot, that sometimes I'll hear him speak English and I'm like, you seem to be you haven't spoke this much recently.
And she is currently presumably learning how to speak Mandarin.
괜찮습니다. 저희는 둘이 있을 때 일본어로 대답할까요? 私たち日本語で結構話すんで大丈夫です。日本語は。
During Girls Planet 999, Mashiro was well loved by fans and was one of the most consistently popular contestants in Japan. She was always voted to be the leader of any team that she was in, and she had a 100% win and success rate with each of her teams. As a result, she was always highly praised for her leadership skills, and was eventually appointed as co-leader of Kep1er after the show had ended.
She's the co-leader.
Kep1er,
Look at
브리더,
that.
마시로. 위 멤버는 모든 멤버들의 심사숙고 끝에 Kep1er를 이끌어갈
It would make sense to have a foreign member
수여합니다.
be a
Kep1er의
co-leader.
듬직한 브리더가 되길 기원합니다. 2021년 11월 18일 Kep1er 1동!
She highlighted her versatility across multiple concepts on the show,
What the
and
hell is
showed that
this
she is strong in
performance?
both vocal and dance departments, as seen through her performances.
I gotta see all of these. Wow. Super regret not watching this.
Overall,
super
Mashiro
regret it.
ranked 8th in the show, making her the first member of Kep1er to be announced.
I've only seen Yujin's announcement.
Moving on from the only line to the middle line, we have Kep1er's Kim Chaeyoung. Within Kep1er,
She was
is
number one, yeah?
recognized at least amongst members as being in charge of vocals, and she has already been able to show her vocal skills.
Yeah, vocally, I've definitely been impressed by her the most.
She is an O2 liner from Busan,
And sometimes she reminds me
meaning
of
that
Wendy.
She can speak dialect or Satori, and she is one of the most extroverted members of Kep1er.
Really? I honestly wouldn't expect that. She surprisingly, at least from my memory, didn't get a ton of screen time on Queendom compared to some other members.
맞아. 어제 진짜 웃겼는데.
가자! 우리 Kep1er 지금 체키타카 찍고 있는데 재밌게 보고 있나?
As far as her personality is concerned, Chaeyoung is constantly at the center of chaos and noise whenever the members are having fun. She loves to laugh and joke around, but she is incredibly responsible and mature, making her an excellent support for her younger members and her older members too.
이름은 김채연이고요. 짱구 개인기를 잘합니다.
This is a common
액션 가면 쏴주세요.
a common impersonation. Oh, there. This is this Silent Idol.
액션 가면 쏴주세요.
Wow, she broke him. She broke him. They love it.
Her official representative animal is a white tiger. Prior to her debut, like Mashiro, Chaeyoung was a
I like
former
how they have
Big Three
interesting
company trainee, having trained at SM Entertainment for 4 years. In order to pursue her dream of being an idol, she dropped out of school at 13,
she does bring the vocals.
and she independently studied for and passed her middle and high school examinations
Those
by
outfits,
herself.
the hell?
During her time at SM, she got close to and became friends with the members of aespa, and after leaving, trained on her own as an individual trainee for 2 years. As Chaeyoung has independently studied and trained, she was without a company before Girls Planet, but is now under Wake1 Entertainment by default along with Kep1er. Up until she had debuted within Kep1er, Chaeyoung had been a trainee for a total of 6 years.
That's so strange. That's so strange. So like, some of them have these like source, I guess, agencies that they're with, that then they're also kind of under Wake1 and then also an Mnet group. Oh, it's so odd. So is Wake1 owned by Mnet then? It must be, right?
이걸 말고 더 재밌게 잘할 자신이 없더라고요. 어쨌든 제가 6년 동안 했잖아요. 6년이 헛되이지 않았다라고 생각이 들 모습들이 나왔으면 좋겠습니다.
Throughout the show, Chaeyoung was often praised for her vocal color, and she shone in her performance of IU's My C.
God, I love this song so much. They did mention this on Queendom. This song was my favorite B-side of last year. Wow.
As she had trained under SM before, many fans watching the show said that she had maintained the SM vocals and the SM visuals, making her one of the most vocally capable contestants on the show. She often took and aced vocal positions in her performances on the show.
She kind of looked like Wendy, and
spot in the top 9 rankings for the entire program.
Vocals are 100%
she
SM like.
first overall after attaining the most points from international and Korean votes, and was the 8th member of Kep1er to be announced. The next member, also a member of and completing the middle line, is Kim Dayeon. She's an 03 liner and is without a doubt one of Kep1er's strongest dancers.
Yep. I think she's my favorite dancer in this group. Oh my
Prior to her
god.
debut in Kep1er, she had been trained by members of Street Woman Fighters dance crew
Holy
Latika,
shit.
and this is evident in the way that she dances, especially when she freestyles and creates choreography. She's been part of multiple academies
she's
before,
nuts.
and has always been highly praised for her dance skill by all of her mentors.
The thing with her too is that she's the total package dancer. It's not just like I go up and I hit the choreography exactly how it's supposed to be. She kind of adds her own essence to each performance, and also just the facial expressions are what get me in really good dance performances. It's someone that's just not locked into just I get my position and I hit every point exactly how it should be, sharp cut, that kind of thing. You flow a bit more and you fall into kind of the gel with the audience. You look at her specifically and she pops on that. She pops hard on that performance. But also does this. Oh, there she goes.
Dayeon is a high-energy member who, like Chaeyoung, is often at the center of the action. She is loud and energetic, but she exudes professionalism and has a real sense of responsibility as a leadership figure within the group.
굉장히 어떤 곡에는 다 완벽하게 출 수 있습니다.
Yes. Oh, and she went and proved it. It's exactly what you need to do for this.
Her Her official animal within Kep1er is a squirrel. Throughout her time on
Squirrel.
Girls Planet
Now
999,
that I would not have pegged her to be. I don't know what I would have. I don't know.
Dayeon was yet another strong leadership figure, and she was also ranked as the #1 Korean trainee at the start of the show in episode 1, and like Xiaoting, was one of the 3 centers for the Signal song. Throughout the show, she showcased how good of a leader, dancer, and choreographer that she
Man,
is,
she's good.
and also
Oh.
solidified herself as a capable vocalist and rapper.
Jeez, see, like, look at her face during all that.
She is,
Like,
and
she
also
never
solidified
is too
herself as a
concentrated on
capable
her
vocalist
movement.
and rapper.
It all just happens. Also, very like big props to this show, and also it being broadcast on Mnet, who doesn't do live vocals for any of their comeback show performances. Do it purely for this. Like, these are straight up live ass vocals during these. Like, I don't hear any backtrack. You can hear it very lowly. That's gotta expose a lot of the people on that show, like, right off the bat. Oof, that's gotta be harsh. And this another example as to why this
was
group
not
doesn't
Dayeon's
have any
first encounter
positions,
with Mnet survival
official
shows,
positions.
though, as she was also previously a contestant on Produce.
I'm sorry, I missed what he said.
First encounter with Mnet survival shows, though, as she was also previously a contestant on Produce 48, the show through which the girl group
she was on
IZ*ONE
Produce?
was formed. This wasn't meant to be, though, as she was
Oh, she was a
eliminated in
baby.
episode 5 after ranking 70th. Currently, Dayeon is signed to Jellyfish Entertainment, the home of groups like VIX, Very Very, and Gugudan, and she currently attends the School of Performing Arts in...
See, that's so weird. That's so weird. She's already signed to Jelly, so they're ready to roll her in to whatever their like next girl group will be, kind of thing. That's so odd. Oh yeah, Kep1er truly will die in 2.5 years. That sucks.
in Seoul. Until she debuted as part of Kep1er, Dayeon had been a trainee for 3 years under CNC School, Stadium Entertainment.
Her intro
and
is so
recently
good. It's my favorite
Jellyfish.
part of this
Following
song.
Produce
Is
48,
Dayeon's part
Dayeon
in the
left
intro.
CNC and signed with Stadium, and whilst there, along with Lightsum's Yujin and another trainee, she was set to make her debut. This obviously fell through though, as Yujin and the other trainee had left the agency, and in early of 2021, Dayeon was announced to be competing in Girls Planet under Jellyfish Entertainment. In the finale, Dayeon ranked 4th overall, making her the 5th member of Kep1er to be announced. Now for the next member, the other half of the Japanese line, Ezaki Hikaru is not only Kep1er's shortest member,
She's gotta be... I didn't really know this until Queendom, and then you could realize why. She's gotta be one of the top 2 or 3 most popular members in this group, yeah? Has to be. Like, it's probably Xiaoting and her.
but is one of the strongest and most recognized rappers in the group. She is an 04 liner and is thus part of the Mangne line, or the youngest line, along with 3 other members. Hikaru herself has been a fan of K-pop since she was young, and she looks up to 2NE1's CL as one of her inspirations.
Yes.
Members describe Hikaru as goofy, funny, and cute off stage,
Super
but
goofy.
charismatic and one of the members with the strongest duality on stage. She is extroverted, loud, and the type of person who once starts laughing, can't be stopped.
I mean, it's integral to her because she's so short. That's the thing, and I understand why people fall in love with this group is because their personalities are all so strong. You have very few members in this group that are a little bit more reserved and quiet, and I don't mind that at all, and it's good to have that balance, but like, what an impossible group to choose a bias in. Everyone is like loud and big and vibrant and fun. They're just fun.
Within Kep1er, Hikaru's
The thing
official
was
animal
falling
is a puppy.
over.
When auditioning for Girls Planet 999, to prove her rapping skill, Hikaru performed multiple raps and freestyles, but of those, her main performances were of CL's Hello Bitches and BY's Super BY.
She performed Hello Bitches? Seriously? Like, the dance and everything? The song's intense. The song's intense. I haven't seen any of their studio tunes. I
Her
gotta
main
do
performances
that.
were of CL's Hello Bitches and BY's Super BY.
이렇게
go and it glow like I get off fun. Couldn't see me with a selfie for my telephone. Got head up though, hello kitty getting head up. Oh, want me to love him long time and I tell him no.
I can't remember that. I mean, I can't believe that song is
Hikaru's talents and skills
so old
were
already.
recognized from the outset.
2015.
Going into episode 1 of the show, Hikaru was also ranked #1 out of all of the Japanese trainees, and as such was the 3rd center of the show's signal.
Monotree worked on that song?
#1 out of all of the Japanese trainees, and as such was the 3rd center of the show's signal song. From the outset, she was recognized as one of the show's strongest rappers, and showed that she was not only competent in this area, but throughout the show also showed that she was highly
100%.
capable at both dancing and
100%
singing
with the
as
dance.
well. She's
The only thing is I haven't seen that rap ability. Like, the rapping's there, but it's no highlight. And I guess you guys have probably seen it way more on Girls Planet, but since I haven't seen those performances, I just don't know. I haven't seen like what she's really capable of. Is she a true, like, does she have a passion for rapping? Like, does she write and like she has that, or is it K-pop rapping? That's always the difference. And I just don't know. And I'm excited to find out.
She's currently not fluent in Korean just yet, but can rap in Korean with speed, all the while maintaining accurate pronunciation.
I open the shining the A 반짝이는 것만 보고 있었어.
I mean, she's already got her flow. That's for sure.
사랑 금이 힘을 영원히 보내고 싶다. 야 하지만 자주라 전도라 힘들 때다. 에이 자신을 믿고 왔어. 에이 이 금을 선택하고 셀프팬은 한 번도 없어. 에이 이 달랑 소주 하이려고 안뜻 소주 하이려고 계속 감고 좀 마음에 힘을 주고 마저 비라면 외계인 보고 싶고. 에이.
Oh, so she 100% has the talent and the capability to do it. Now, like, does she have that passion for it to where she will write all her verses and so forth? Because that's what makes a rapper. You gotta write your own stuff. Like, you just have to. I feel like that's just so integral. And I'd be, I'm curious to know if she has for the songs that they've released, or if she wants to in the future.
With Xiaoting, she's one of the group's Korean language learners, and she's constantly trying harder to improve her language skills. As for her agency and prior experience, Hikaru is currently signed to Avex Artist Academy in Tokyo. Hikaru has had industry experience in Japan before, as she used to be part of a kids trainee duo called Plus Gang for 2 years, but this group was disbanded in 2018.
Oh my god, this old footage.
Through Girls Planet 999, she wound up placing 7th overall, making her the 2nd member of Kep1er to be announced.
Oh my god, those announcement videos are so cute.
Moving on to the next member, Bahiyyih is the 7th.
Bahiyyih. That's how you say it. I just trail off in the middle. Bahiyyih.
Moving on to the next member, Bahiyyih is the 7th member of Kep1er, part
I
of
still
the
like just calling her
line,
Hugh,
and is
honestly.
the 2nd tallest member of the group. She is part of
God damn, does she just remind me so much of Emma Roberts? It's insane.
Kep1er, part of the Mangne line, and is the 2nd tallest member of the group.
She's got
She
German
is part
blood,
of the
yeah?
Changshinji, or the tall line, along with Xiaoting and Yujin, and like Hikaru, was born in 2004. Within Kep1er, Bahiyyih is one of the funniest members with her impressions and facial expressions, and the members consider her a fashionista, but also a prankster. She can sometimes be subtle and quiet, but like all of the other members, she's an absolute goofball.
I considered her like a strong introvert just based off of Queendom. I don't really know too much about her personality. I do remember a lot of these videos though. Some of these videos were, I don't know if this was like pre-show or this was after, and they only did this for the lineup of Kep1er. I don't think so. I think they did it for like each girl or something to just let you know a bit about their personalities. These little videos, I don't even know where they fit into the show, but some of them were golden. Golden. Like, what is this? Was that supposed to be SpongeBob?
여러분들 힘내세요. 화이팅하세요. 오늘도 화이팅. 사랑해요.
Oh, we didn't get enough of her on Queendom, honestly.
여러분들 힘내세요. 화이팅하세요. 오늘도 화이팅. 사랑해요.
Bahiyyih's representative animal within Kep1er is a lion. As for her personal life, Bahiyyih comes from an entertainment family,
hair.
with her dad being a Brazilian-American TV personality, and her eldest sister Leah and eldest brother Kai have also debuted in K-pop groups.
I know that. Brazilian American, I always heard she was a part, like she had German blood.
Leah
I don't know.
debuted through the group Viva in 2017, which is now inactive, and Kai debuted as part of Hybe's boy group TXT in 2019.
Yes. Oh, this song is so good.
Bahiyyih is known by many
that song is
names
so
by
good.
fans, either Hye or Bahiyyih being the most common, and she's the only mixed member in Kep1er, being a Korean-born Korean-American. Bahiyyih can fluently speak Korean, she can speak English, and she can also speak Mandarin.
그때 영어 나레이션을 한번 하자고 한 제안이 들어오셨어갖고 한번 했던 적이 있습니다.
그럼 지금 해외에 보고 계시는 시청자분들을 위해서 영어로 한번 얘기를 해주시면 좋을 것 같습니다.
They've already done so much
1번 카메라.
on here, on like variety show things.
Please love our Kep1er, and we are going to do a lot of things. So please keep looking us. Thank you.
That's the thing. That's always the thing of like, can she speak English, or she can get by? She can probably get by.
As for her agency, during Girls Planet 999, it was understood that she was an individual trainee, but during the show she signed to what is formerly known now as Play M Entertainment, which has currently become IST, home to groups such as Weekly, The Boys, A-Pink, and Victon. Throughout Girls
Yo, really? I forget. Sometimes I forget.
Play M Entertainment.
Play M, powerful.
Currently become IST, home to groups such as Weekly,
Like Weekly, tops, one of my favorites.
The Boys, A-Pink.
Boys, so good. Oh my god, A-Pink. Like, I mean, I haven't gotten enough into them, but shit, the power they bring. And then Victon, so insanely underrated. It's gross.
In Victon. Throughout Girls
Damn,
Planet
Play M
999,
kinda fucks.
Bahiyyih showed herself to be a high energy, extremely passionate, happy virus, as she refers to herself as, and also an extremely hard worker.
Ah, they covered ice cream. Ooh. Oh, what is this
On
song?
the show, she was often praised for her stable vocals and her improvement that she showed in her performances, and as a result of this, overall she wound up placing second.
Can someone just tell me really quick, as someone that doesn't know anything about Girls Planet, so I'm going to be seeing, when I go and watch a lot of these live performances, I'm going to be seeing a mix of people that didn't make the final lineup. How are the groups broken up? Like, how did they decide who is the lineup in Ice Cream? In certain rounds, did they just separate them? Did members choose who they want to be in their group? Like, how did that work? Because I'm assuming I'm going to go back to see a lot of these performances and not know half the people in a lot of these lineups.
She showed in her performances, and as a result of
I'm
this,
interested into
overall,
how
she
that
wound up
that
placing
works.
second, being the 7th member of Kep1er to be announced.
Was that Panorama? Youngeun, I mean, she just grabbed me those last two performances. The power, the duality in this
Now,
girl,
Youngeun
like
is the
insane.
second youngest member of Kep1er, but you wouldn't be blamed for not believing it. Youngeun radiates a youthful and hyperactive energy around her members, making her one of the group's resident crazies.
I love a good crazy. I love someone that's very opposite of me, introverted.
At times she can be shy and introverted, but lets loose around her members. She's a big softie and often doesn't share when she is experiencing hardships, but she always persists on giving 110% to herself.
The wet hair
and her
look,
team.
the wet hair look she had, like, she gave the strongest performance.
잘 할 수 있으니까 너가 하고 싶은 대로 계속 했으면 좋겠어. 있는 그대로 내 모습을 계속 사랑했으면 좋겠어.
This show seems like it was really well
Since
done,
Girls Planet
actually.
999, she's always likened her.
One of the reasons that I was like, I had an aversion to that show, because in the back of my head, I'm like, Mnet will fuck this one up too. That's just the kind of thought I had. But it seems like it was really well done.
Herself to a fox, so this is also her representative animal within Kep1er too.
That makes sense.
사막에서 달려온 사막여우 서영은입니다.
The nose, oh my god.
Within the group, Youngeun is without a doubt heralded as Kep1er's ace, as she's able to do quite literally anything, and her age is not to be underestimated. She not only has an amazing singing voice, but her dance skills and charisma on stage are befitting of this status, as she is one of the members which possesses an insane duality.
Yeah, I mostly associate that duality label with like her, Xiaoting, and Hikaru. I think it's just by law. It's by law that your group
Youngeun
has to
is a
cover that
specialist
song
in
at
boy
some
group
point.
choreographies, and on Girls Planet 999 gained quite the reputation for her ability to nail boy group concepts. From the outset
what
with
I
her
love to
performances of
see.
NCT's Kick It and 2PM's My House, and since then has shown more of her duality.
They
Her
covered
broad
Kick It.
singing range coupled with her powerful, precise dancing makes her an incredible eye-catcher in performances.
Wow, I mean, on these shows, there's always a lot of Blackpink going down. When there's votes that need to happen, Blackpink is a good choice to choose because you're gonna get them votes. The fact that there's all live vocals.
Currently,
Oh my
Youngeun is signed
god!
to Biscuit
That looked like a fan cam, but do they have an official version of this? God damn.
Currently, Youngeun
God,
is signed
that
to
song's so
Biscuit
good.
Entertainment, a brand new label that was established in 2021, and she trained there with
Biscuit.
former Girls Planet contestants Murakami Yume and also Arai Risako. Youngeun placed 5th on the show overall, making her the 4th member of Kep1er to be announced.
Wait, what was that?
She trained there with former Girls Planet contestants Murakami Yume and also Arai Risako. Youngeun placed 5th on the show overall, making
So
her
they
the 4th
had signed
member
2
of
other
Kep1er to be announced.
Japanese trainees. She's
Now
also
for the
one that
Mangnae.
I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I think super early on, I would sometimes in Queendom, I would confuse her between Youngeun and Mashiro, almost like she's like a mix of the two in some weird way.
This is where things get really interesting.
Always confuse her.
Kep1er's Mangnae is Kang Yeso, who was born in 2005, yet debuted in 2010 when she was only 5 years old. Do you remember
Oh my
earlier when I was saying that there was another member
2005,
who
I was entering
technically
high
debuted
school.
before
Oh my
Yujin?
god.
Yep, this is her, our youngest. As Yeso is the Mangnae, naturally she emanates the usual cute
That's her in Wadada, the one on the chair that does. Whoa.
As Yeso is the Mangnae, naturally she emanates the usual cute charms and captures people's hearts in this way.
Hug me, please.
Hug me.
Soft group. Soft group.
No.
No.
어떻게 손 부르기. 가사가 뭐더라? 네가 너무 좋아. 어떻게 네가 너무 예뻐.
So she's someone that likes this. And they show Mashiro in the corner, the fake Mangnae of this group.
어떻게 생각해? 감사합니다.
As if I need another, like...
However, interestingly enough, with her
so many young
experience
girl
in the
groups that are just
industry,
killing it.
she's a good balancer for the team's dynamic and is extremely supportive in this regard. Yeso, along with Yujin, also has the bunny as her representative animal.
Who the hell is that?
This regard.
In
Yeso,
the
along with
pink.
Yujin, also
She
has
looks like
the bunny
Sungi
as
of
her
Oh My Girl a little bit.
representative animal. As for her career, Yeso has already had quite the amount of experience as she debuted in 2010 as a child actress. So far, she has starred in 14
I do know
television
that
series,
because
2
they
web
said that on
dramas,
Queendom.
and 5 movies, one of which was Miracle in Cell Number 7, which at its release was the 5th highest grossing Korean movie of all time.
아저씨,
Really?
가방이요.
What's more is that Yeso's experience doesn't end here. In 2010, Yeso debuted as a member of the kids idol group called
Bag.
QTL, which has since disbanded and was originally supposed to
I don't know how I feel about
of
that.
the kids idol group called QTL, which has since disbanded and was originally supposed to debut in 2014 in another kids group called Pretty. This was not to be though.
I mean, I guess that's good for like kids. Is that like idol kids bop? I don't know. Idoldom can be militant. I don't know if you want that for children.
And Yeso debuted instead in Busters in 2019, where she was there appointed
I
as
love that
lead
hair color.
vocalist. In 2020, Yeso's group went on hiatus, and after this, she moved to 143 Entertainment, the same agency as Mashiro. Since then, Yeso and Mashiro have trained together until Girls Planet 999.
Oh, so do they
Throughout
have a
Girls
very
Planet
close
999,
relationship?
Yeso was highly praised for her professionalism, her vocal tone and center qualities, as she nails facial expressions perfectly and executes performances with ease.
That seems to be common amongst this group. Like, I'd put Dayeon as number one in that respect,
she
but
was
they
quite
all
the
do well.
eye-catcher, as she not only nailed concepts befitting of her age, but also utilized her experience to pull off stages like the iconic Fate performance. In the finale, Yeso finished 6th overall, thus making her the 3rd member of Kep1er.
Oh my god, I want to watch that
today,
announcement
we've
video.
been through a lot. Whilst this guide can't go into too much
is
depth
insane.
as Kep1er are only just starting their journey, I'm really hoping that this helped give you a better idea of the members, their personalities, and a little bit more about their personal stories. One last thing I would like to touch on though is just the nature of temporary groups and how these actually operate. As aforementioned, Kep1er is a temporary group with a contract of 2.5 years. As also mentioned throughout some of the members' profiles, they currently belong to different companies, and this can be confusing for some who are experiencing temporary groups for the first time. In a nutshell, the way that this works is that each member will be from a specific company or companies, with some sharing the same company, such as Yeso and Mashiro.
This is basically what I had said previously, and then that is so interesting on the business side. How does this then break down? Is there an equal distribution of sharing profits from Kep1er amongst these different establishments and everything? When in a K-pop group, not everyone shares equal responsibility or lines or attention or popularity. That's just the way it is. That's the ugly truth of the capitalist business side of it. Now, how does that work into then how money is doled out amongst these groups? Or, I don't know, so interesting. So messy.
And this company will send their trainees to a show such as Girls Planet 999.
Yeah, wait, hold on. So Yujin is still under Cube technically? Because her contract would have been up by now, right? So Cube divorced themselves of everyone from CLC except for Yujin. Is that the case?
Yeso and Mashiro, and this company will send their trainees to a show such as Girls Planet 999, with the hope that their trainees will be able to debut as part of the winning lineup.
But then they want their
Traditionally,
back.
Shows like Girls Planet 999 and also the Produce series have been an excellent way for companies to be able to get their trainees noticed and also to build a reputation for them, so that once group activities end, they can
X1?
either re-debut in other groups or pursue solo or acting activities as well. As of yet, an Mnet project group has been yet to extend its contract formally, and thus as a result, Kep1er's contract is still only 2.5 years, at least until Mnet or any companies decide to actually change that.
I don't
Moving
think it'll
back
happen.
to the subject though,
unfortunately.
as for Kep1er's existing content, currently they have quite a lot, but there is still plenty more which is being added every single day. As a fandom, we are very spoiled, and I can't wait to see what we have coming next. So far, Kep1er have a 2-episode reality show titled Kep1er View, along with appearances on variety shows already too. When they debuted with Wadada, they recently had their debut show on M2, and they've made other various variety appearances already as well. There's so much more of this type of content coming, so please make sure to check out the links below, as they are
that line is so
extremely
good.
useful. In them, I have attached an all-encompassing Kep1er archive, which has been created and run by some amazing members of my Discord.
This is what you can aspire your guide to be like. Something like this. Great job.
Community, and it's updated literally whenever new Kep1er content drops. Feel free to go and follow
New
the
Kep1er
Twitter
content,
as well,
aka
so that you
a
get
couple
constant
days.
updates on when the
On the
spreadsheet
same day
is
as my favorite
officially
group.
updated each time.
Luna is
Now,
coming
like I
back the
said,
same
this
exact
isn't
day.
quite the all-encompassing Kep1er guide just yet, but I will be updating this as early as their first comeback. Please look forward to it, and in the meantime, if you'd like to stick around, feel free to subscribe.
Which
and
is
check
another
out my
thing,
fan edits,
Young
video
and
essays,
having
and
a
tons
great
more
relationship
content
with the
over
Luna
here.
members. I love that. That was so
once
awesome
again,
to see.
Stan talent, Stan Kep1er. and
After the
thank
show
you so
ended.
much for tuning in. Take care of yourselves out there, and I'll
So
see
the
you guys
future.
in the next one.
The future. of what I'd like to do with Kep1er. First of all, I want to see some of those performances off of Girls Planet. I typically do live performances over on Patreon just because they get blocked largely, and it's a pain in the ass to edit those things. So live performances will be on there, as I do variety shows on there, and album reactions, because they all get blocked. Album reactions get blocked if you put it all together, kind of thing. I plan on having the double last album that will come out on Monday over on Patreon. I'll be doing that one. The title track will be on here on YouTube, but please let me know in the future. That's what I want to do. I want to do more Kep1er stuff because I do really enjoy this group. They're so much fun. I want to see more variety stuff, more of their personalities, and then some of the songs that I have not heard. There's a whole lot, especially all of those Girls Planet performances that they did. So let me know what I should move on to after this one. Let me know if you enjoyed this, who's your favorite member, what you think of Kep1er, what you think of their future, the whole temporary group thing, and also fantastic guide. Great job to Xiaoting. And I'm actually shocked that this only has 30,000 views. As popular of a group that Kep1er is, and the quality of this guide, that is very surprising to me. So please subscribe to them if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for checking this out with me. All of Queendom 2 is over on Patreon, so please watch it with me. Watch me over time fall into love with this group. I very, very much enjoy well, I wouldn't say all their performances. The first half wasn't their fault. It wasn't. Everyone had thought that Mnet was really going to have this special hand in Kep1er, and it was unfair. But I think right off the bat, after that first performance, you saw in terms of the staging that there was no extra stipend or money behind Kep1er. That just was not the case. So I think as the show went on, especially with them being the youngest in the whole lineup, they really started to flourish. And those last half of the performances, I'd say ever since the unit rounds on, were so good. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this. Please subscribe if you're new. Check out my Kep1er reaction or reactions down below in the playlist. I think I might only have Wadada on there. My mask reaction is probably on Patreon. I'm not really sure. I honestly don't know. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching with me. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.